Hello everyone, welcome to Oliveboard. My name is Dinkar and I welcome each and every one of you in this session. I hope everybody is doing great, feeling healthy and fine. So welcome to the fresh morning of 22nd of April and thank you so much for joining the session. So we are trying to change the way we are conducting the various classes. So today we will be starting with our top news coverages and I think for you we have an important news update is that in the RBI website they have released that maybe by the coming 2 3 days they will be releasing the notification for RBI Grade B examination. So those people who are waiting for RBI Grade B notification, this is a very important and good news to each and every one of you that the notification is can be out any soon, and they have already informed in their website, RBI website. They have already informed that the notification can be out anytime. So congratulations, and the wait is going to be over in few days. And yeah, and now it is it's a very important time that you should take a very important call regarding your preparation strategy. So those people who are looking forward for RBI Grade B examination, they should start working from now itself only, because once the notification is released, you don't have much time. Okay, you don't have much time because they always provide notification 1 month or 2 months before, and they conduct the examination, and within 1 month or 15 days they conduct the phase 2 examination only. So do not worry about the notification now, because they have already said that notification is can be out anytime. Okay, they have already informed in their website. So you have to take a call like how you are going to prepare for the examination. I hope you are preparing from the last year also, and those people who are starting new, they should take an important call right now, and they should take the call immediately. Okay, so thank you so much for joining the session, and may I know how many people are there in the session? They can just let me know in the chat box, so that I may know you are here and joining with me in this session. Okay, so I think we can just go ahead with our session right away. So this is RBI Grade B 2023 examination top news coverage, and today we'll be talking about the government amendment, the export policy for biofuel. Government has amended the export policy for biofuel. So there is a single amendment that government has done, but today we will be discussing what is the biofuel, type of generation of biofuels, advantage, disadvantages of the biofuel, and what is the amendment that government has done for you. Okay, so let's start with our session. Yeah, biofuels. So this was the news that has been circulating since March 22nd, 2023. Government amends the export policy for biofuel. On this, this was related to the SEZ units, special economic zone units, and export oriented units. Okay, from there the government has amended the rules for the export of biofuels. So government has said that any biofuel that is produced from the imported feedstocks, any biofuel that is produced from the imported feedstocks can be, without any restriction, can be exported from special economic zones or export oriented units. So like that, what we call it as, if this is a imported feedstocks, okay, this corn is there, and there are special economic zones in India, so they are producing the oil, biofuels, from this imported feedstock. So for these SEZ units or export oriented units, they are free to export this biofuel without any restriction to any place. Okay, so before starting, what is the concept of biomass? Biomass, like biofuel, is present like from how the biofuel is produced. So before we should know, we should also know that what is a biomass. Everybody knows the biomass is a type of a organic matter, like usually a plant matter, which we normally with the help of a processing units and with the help of various type of tools and technologies, we convert them into a fuel. Okay, when biomass is utilized for converted into fuel, that we call it as biofuels. We call it as a biofuels, right? Biomass is utilized. Now the sources of this biomass can be varied, can be different. Like you can utilize trees, energy crops are there, like corn are there, sugar cane is there, okay. Then agriculture residue is there, food wastage is there. What waste residues, all these things are there. These are the sources of the biomasses, okay. Now how this biomass is getting converted into the biofuel? First of all, the biomass is sent to a chamber where the various processing biomass is broken down into a small units. Then using a boiler, it is cooked and liquefied. So this is a very simple process. In the starting only we have told everything, okay. So whenever this biomass is collected, it goes through various process like fermentation, distillation, and then esterification. These type of process goes on, right? Now we will be studying in detail what is going on. First of all, you should know the biofuels are renewable fuels because the biomass is available in ample quantity, and the biomass can be generated, regenerated again and again. So, okay. So these biofuel are derived from the biomass or any kind of organic matter. Up now, what type of biomass you can have? Biomass like corn is there, sugar cane is there, switchgrass is there, algae is there, waste materials like cooking oil is there, animal fats are there, MSW, municipal solid waste. MSW we call it as, okay. So whenever we utilize these type of biomass and do the conversion, we get the biofuels from there. Okay, so what type of processes are involved? First of all, distillation is one of the process. Then fermentation is the another process. Then esterification is third kind of process. So these are some of the important processes are there through which we convert the biomass into biofuels. Okay. Now, how biofuels are categorized? Categorization is also there for the biofuels. Like there are four generation of biofuels are there. First generation is the starting generation in which we utilizes the crop, food crops. Food crops are utilized like we have corn is there, we have wheat is there, we have sugar cane is there, sugar beets are there. Okay. But the problem is that if we are utilizing the food crops for making of the biofuel, it may affect our food security, right? So then we have to think about the second generation of the biofuel, which are called as non-edible. ये वाले edible थे first generation वाले, and the second generation are non-edible biofuels are there. Now we are deriving the second generation from the waste products, grass, straws, woods. Okay, so these are all non-edible and these will also not affect any kind of food security measures, right? Then third one is the more advanced. We will be utilizing the microorganism for the production of biofuels, like your microalgae. Uh, there's algal biomass we utilizes for that. And then we are moving towards a fourth generation in which we utilizes very important technologies and various technological processes like pyrolysis, solar to fuel, engineered algal gasification. So here we will be moving more deeply into the technology. So these are the four generation of biofuels, and these are the categorization of the biofuels that we are utilizing for this purpose. Okay. Now, why we are looking for biofuels? Because they are the alternatives to the fossil fuel. Alternative because once we are utilizing the biofuels, we will be using less fossil fuels, right? We will be using very less fossil fuels, and they also emit very fewer greenhouse gases when they burn. So along with that, the biofuels also help in saving the forex reserve. This saves the forex reserve. At the same time, they save the climate. This saves the climate, right? So there are different type of biofuels are there. We have normally talked about the ethanol, right? And we are also talking about ethanol blending program. Ethanol blending program, everybody knows, right? Then biodiesel, diesel prepared from the biomasses. Then biogases, everybody knows. So this is all related. These are all called as biofuel. Biofuels, anything which is produced from the waste material biomasses, they called it as ethanol, biodiesel, or biomass. Okay, and this can be easily transported and which can be utilized for transportation work. This biofuel can be utilized for heating. This can be utilized for electricity generation, and everything is going on. But the problem is that there is a little concern regarding the biofuel, because now more and more land is coming under the generation of the crop which is only utilized for biofuel, so which may affect the food security in the later stage. Food prices are also getting too much of shocks are happening in the food prices, because the people are creating the commercial crops for the sale of the production of the biofuel. So because of that, normal food crops is not getting produced. And once you are producing the biofuels from various biomasses, sometimes it affects the biodiversity of that area, because if you are growing anything in huge level, ample level, so it may affect the local environment of that place, right? So what was the old policy on export? What was the old policy? So government on August 28, 2018 has put the restrictions. Government ने restriction put कर दिया था on export of biofuels. Okay, and similar condition has been put on imports also. So government has put restriction on export of the biofuel and import of the biofuel. So a license is always required either for export or either for import of the biofuel. Okay, like ethyl alcohol, petroleum oil, and oil obtained from bituminous mineral, biodiesel, and various mixtures are there. Okay, so biofuel import and export, they are all called for a license, and government has put good restrictions on that. Okay, you cannot simply export or import any kind of biofuels from anywhere. Now, what was the new policy? What was the new policy? Directorate General of Foreign Trade, that we call it as DGFT, they have amended their notification that they have released in 2018. Now the export of biofuels, from special economic zones or export oriented units are allowed without any restriction when you are utilizing only imported feedstock. That means अगर आप कोई भी feedstock import करके biofuel बना रहे हैं, तो आप आसानी से उसको बेच सकते हैं, export कर सकते हैं without any restriction. But if you are utilizing the local feedstocks, then you have a restriction. तब आपके ऊपर restriction है. Because there may be a chance that a foreign company may be asking you to grow various type of feedstock in your country, and then you are selling it to that company outside of your country. So because of that, it may affect the food crop in our country. So if you are producing any kind of feedstock, if you are producing any feed crops in India only, then you are being restricted on the export of the biofuels. But if the feedstock, मतलब अगर फीड स्टॉक बाहर का है, अगर किसी दूसरे कंपनी का कंट्री का है, जैसे ऑस्ट्रेलिया हो है, इफ यू हैव ब्राजील है, then you can get that feedstock to your country, you can convert them into biofuels, and you can sell it outside. You can export it outside from the export oriented units or special economic zone. There is no restriction. But if the feedstock is from India, then you have a restrictions. That is what the major changes that has been done. That is a major amendment that has been done under this. Okay. Now this is the national biofuel policy that has been released in 2018. Okay, so it has said that by 20% blending of ethanol in the petrol will be achieved by 2025, because earlier the target was 2030, but now we have preponed it to 2025. Okay, and 5% blending of biodiesel is there, right? Then the thrust is on the advanced biofuel policy. Purpose is for the viability gap funding. So this all we will be studying now. Here, if you can see over here, this is the national biofuel policy. First of all, the categorization of the biofuel has been done. The basic biofuels and the advanced biofuel. Basic biofuel are like first generation biofuels are there, under which bioethanol and biodiesels are there. Okay, and advanced biofuels come under the second generation category of ethanol, municipal solid waste or drop-in fuels. Then the third generation is 3G biofuels and bio CNGs are there, right? So based on the various appropriate technology, various on appropriate finances, appropriate fiscal incentives, all these categories have been defined as basic or advanced, right? And in this national biofuel policy, they have also extended the scope of the raw material. Okay, they have extended the scope of the raw material. Earlier, only a particular type of raw material was utilized for the production of biofuel. Now it has been allowed that you can utilize sugarcane juice, sugar containing material like sugar beets, sugar sorghum, then starch contain like corn, cassava, damaged food grains like wheat, broken rice, rotten potatoes, unfit for human consumption can be also utilized for ethanol production. पहले ये सब ethanol production के लिए बहुत इतना मतलब they have a restriction on that. There were restriction on that, but now you can utilize these for the biofuel production also. The thing is that farmers were sometimes is at a risk of not getting the proper or appropriate prices. Okay, even if they have surplus production. Okay, so that is why now this policy is allowing the surplus food grain. If you have a surplus food grain, then you can utilize it for ethanol blending with petrol. Okay, earlier what was happening, that government was not allowing any surplus food grain to be targeted towards the ethanol production, but now government said that okay, in order to make the farmers should get the appropriate prices and everything, farmer can sell their excessive or surplus food grain for the production of ethanol. Okay, so they have to take the approval from the National Biofuel Coordination Committee, that we call it as NBCC. Okay, NBCC. Then viability gap funding is also being provided for 2G ethanol production, around 5,000 crore rupees for 6 years, and along with that tax incentives are also being provided, and also encouragement of the setting up of a supply chain mechanism will be provided for biodiesel, non-edible oilseed using cooking oil, and various type of crops are there. Okay, and the coordinated activities of departments like policy documents, government ministries and departments all have to work in coordination. Ministry of Petroleum, Science and Technology, Ministry of Farmers and Welfare, okay, Ministry of Agriculture, all have to work together in order to achieve this stuff. Now, there is a issue of sustained availability of the domestic feedstock, that is called sustainable feedstock, because sometimes you have ample feedstock, sometimes you have very less feedstock. So we have to have a proper sustainable feedstock we should have. This will help in increasing the farmer income, obviously. It will also reduce the import, because once we are able to generate the biomasses feedstock in our own country, we will be less exporting from outside. And with this new technologies coming in, new type of fuel coming in, so there will be a different type of employment generation will be happening, and waste to wealth creation will be happening. Okay, because lot of things we are using here is waste, whether it is waste oil, whether it is waste feedstock is there, anything is there which is waste only, and we are converting them into wealth, and which is also helping in employment generation and also biofuel production and increasing the farmer income. So what is the proposed amendment? We are providing or allowing more feedstock in different categories that we have discussed. Ethanol blending target is 20% for 25 to 26. Now we have preponed it from 2030 to 25-26. And now government is running various program and the various local units. So here you can see export of the biofuel. If you are getting from the imported feedstock, okay, from special economic zones and export oriented unit, you can export it without any restriction if that is there from the imported feedstock. Okay, so ethanol blending target is 20% by 2050 with petrol. Ethanol blending target with petrol 20% ethanol and 80% petrol by 2025. What are the advantages of biofuel? Everybody should know the advantages of biofuel. First of all, it is availability. It is available everywhere. हर जगह ये available है. Biomass is available everywhere in whichever form it is. Each and every country is having surplus biomass. If we are converting the biomass into biofuel, it reduces the waste. It reduces the dependency on the crude oil, and obviously it leads to the economic development. Obviously. Now, this is the major advantages of various type of biodiesels, like environmental friendly, renewable sources, safe, ready to use, beneficial for the health, reduce the dependency, positive economic impact, reduce greenhouse gases, best handling energy crisis, and improve the engine life. This is what the major advantages of the biodiesel, if we take the specific example of anything. Okay, but there are if something is having advantages, so there are some kind of disadvantages are also related to that. First of all, right now the thing is that they are not that much efficient. They have a low efficiencies because the engine are IC engine right now, internal combustion engine. So they are not made to for the biofuels, biodiesel or bioethanol. So the engine have to be converted so that maximum energy utilization can be taken place. Loss of biodiversity, because if we are more developing toward the biofuel, we will be creating some special kind of crops. This reduces the biodiversity, this reduces the local biodiversity of that area. Okay, then obviously food shortage will be there, because if we are more and more towards the production of biofuel, so there will be sometimes that will happen, people will be having very less food crops that has been grown, because food crops will be diverted. If you are giving proper prices, the food crops will be diverted for the ethanol, like wheat is there, rice is there, corn is there, so this will be diverted to the other places. Then they utilizes the massive quantity of water. Proper irrigation of the water, fuel is utilized. Proper water is required, proper high end irrigation is required for the biofuels. Okay, so this is the thing. Then right now, what are the challenges that are being associated? We are not having sufficient food stock. These are the challenges. We have to look forward for various new sources for the feedstock. Production facilities are not yet up to the mark. Still, we are focusing on various type of production facilities. Price always goes ups and down. Always price goes ups and down. All of a sudden, there is sudden rise, sudden decrease in the prices. So we have to have a stability in the prices. Then availability of the ethanol. Every time ethanol is not available, so we have to make sure that proper, like We are focusing on 20% ethanol blending by 2025. So that means that by 2025 we will be having sure that our ethanol petrol will be blended by ethanol by that time. Okay, the vehicle manufacturing units are there which are not being totally making the vehicle as per the biofuels, because they are still focusing on IC engines. So that is why the focus has to be on biofuel friendly engines, and sometimes it requires a good amount of environmental clearance for construction of various industries related to biofuels and everything. Okay, so this is all the challenges required. If the challenges are being met and proper things are saying, so the biofuels is the future of the fuel industry of the world. So guys, this is all for today. Thank you so much for joining the session, and we are providing you with 40% off coupon. 40% off coupon we are providing. Save 40% on our RBI, SEBI, Nabard, IFSCA, IRDAI. Yesterday, IFSCA phase 1 examination is over. Result of the IFCA examination have been came. So we are running the various IFSCA courses like LearnPack. Then we have test series are there. So those people who have cleared this examination, they can join that. And for RBI Grade B examination, for which the notification may be released in 1 or 2 days, 1 या 2 दिन में नोटिफिकेशन आपका आ जाएगा। तो अगर आपको चाहिए तो अभी ले लीजिए, 40% ऑफ आपको मिल जाएगा, वरना कल के बाद ये आपको कूपन नहीं मिलेगा। You will not get this coupon, so utilize this coupon code EID and get 40% off directly. So RBI notification is expected either today or day after tomorrow, Monday. You will be directly getting the notification, and after that you will not get 40% off. That is why we are coming with a 40% off to all the people. So if you wanted to join, do join it, please. So thank you so much. And we have a Oliveboard regulatory telegram channel. You can just click on the descriptive box there. There it is. We have regulatory app is there that we have created. You can click on that and download that regulatory app. All the notes and everything will be provided over there, and courses are there which we have already discussed. You can just check on the descriptive box, it is all present over there. Okay, anybody wanted to ask anything, they can ask me. So always remember, where there is a will, there is always a way. Anybody wanted to ask anything? Okay, so thank you so much. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. I will be seeing you today at 9 p.m. with my RBI basic concept series. Basic concept series at 9 p.m. I will be talking about. Okay, so thank you so much. Bye bye. Take care. I will be seeing you at 9 p.m. today.